Hey guys, it's me, the dude who talks, and welcome. So for today I'm going to be talking about the new debut album from White Patterns, which is called Regurgitorium, and it is out now through Human Worth Records. So who are White Patterns? Essentially they're a three-piece noise punk band from the UK that feature members of other projects such as Wren and Warren Schoenbright. They feature Seb Tull on bass, Dan McLennan on drums, and Doug Norton handling vocals. But the best way to describe them fully is actually on the Facebook, and I found this absolutely genius and hilarious. They just put "not subtle," yeah, completely genius. Lyrically, they put it themselves that they go through themes of day-to-day despair and existential paradoxes. Really interesting. So, with all that out the way, what did I think of Regurgitorium? I absolutely love that name, by the way. Did I like it, or did it make me want to throw up because it was so bad? Well, let's find out. So, for those who want to know, Regurgitorium, I honestly like saying the name of that album. It consists of 11 tracks and clocks in at around 35 minutes. So some bands take a couple of minutes getting things started at the beginning of an album with an intro, just to ease you in, like introduce you to the atmosphere and whatnot. But White Patterns has no such band. From the first 16 seconds of the opening track called Parapraxis will tell you whether you like them or not. It did for me. The 1 minute song feels like an absolute barrage of bass and drums and a bit of screaming vocals, and the only way I can actually describe it is it's just like organised chaos. And this is from a band who named their influences such as like Primus and Mudvayne of all bands, and I can definitely see the resemblance in that, especially with this song. I like the use of bass, and I feel like they do something quite different with it, and it just sounds really unique in the way they like cause effects with like the bass tone. Musically speaking, the use of the bass tone makes the album sound really heavy, and the effects caused by said bass really had me hooked and brought the songs to some really interesting places. Also, the drumming I felt had some absolute power behind it, and also in the rhythm, it sort of gives it this sort of electronic feel throughout the album without being electronic, if that makes sense. Though the best way to describe it is some of the similar bands it sounds like, which would be like Big Lad, Three Trap Tigers, without, you know, the use of electronics and synths. Also, I'd definitely say Lightning Bolt is an influence, and I think they've mentioned that as well. And also, some of the songs on this album sound really heavy, like Bachelor Machine and Elective Affinities. And on the latter, it starts off quite calm, but then it builds to some real monstrous peaks. And towards the end of that song, and the way it climaxes, it just sounds like what anxiety would be like if it was a sonic thing. Though I will let you guys be the judge of that. Also, you've got the song Wretched Makeshifts, which takes things 5 steps further by just hitting a barrage of noise on its climax. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, 4, let's fucking go. It's not all about chaos and being pummeled. Well, it is for the most part, but there's a song called Bone Apple Teeth, and it has this kind of like dance-like quality to it. It's the way that the song goes, you can sort of dance to it, but not in like the standard dancing way. It's sort of like, you know, for a lack of a better way, just to like spaz out and just dance like an idiot like I always do. And the vocals in the song just like repeat cha-cha-cha over and over and over again. It's so strange, but I like it, and I'll just play a little bit of that song. Cha-cha. an album as a whole, and listening to it, it sounds like a lot of bands, but then again, it doesn't. And the sound on it is like really endearing to me and quite refreshing, to be honest. It's like kind of like you've been having Pepsi for like, I don't know, 6 years, and then on the off chance you decide to have Dr. Pepper, and you're thinking, this is nice. And that's exactly how I felt about with this album. Though they do try and take a break from breaking your mind, and this is the song Silentium. There's this like really unsettling, haunting monologue throughout the song, and then the music like builds up as like atmosphere, and it gets really tense and claustrophobic, and then towards the very end it just like goes off into like 4 seconds of silence, and I thought that was just genius. So, to top this all off, I'm just going to close off with like a random side note on the song Unstimming. And every time like it starts off with the vocals, I keep thinking he's going to say all aboard like Ozzy Osbourne. No, I just thought I'd mention it. Okay, so it's time for the nitpicks. And the vocals took me a while to get used to, and I felt at times they didn't fit in. But I feel like that was the point, as it's to make it a bit more jarring and a bit more to mess with your head a little bit. Now, the other thing, the album might be considered repetitive in its nature, which obviously is intentional, and it's either going to delight you or aggravate you. So, it's now time for the overall opinion of this album. I feel like this album will either excite you or annoy you to death. For me, it was definitely the former. I can now add Y Patterns to my list of bands that really decimate ears with just bass and drums. Also, this album and the band deserve props for the best use of song titles. They're really creative. I reckon as good as this album is, and it is really good, I feel like it'll be even better heard live if they play it in full. So if you're looking for something that's, far out of the ordinary, I think you'll really love this album. Alright, so that was me talking about Regurgitorium. Really still like that album title still, by Y Patterns. Have you picked this album up yet? Please let me know what you thought about it down below in the comment section. Like always, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It really helps out. I've also got my socials as well. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I really should start posting more stuff on Facebook. I'm also on Buy Me a Coffee if you're feeling generous enough to donate a couple of quid my way. I'm not asking for much on that, just, a couple of quid to help these videos be even better. And that is it from me. I've been the dude who talks. You guys are fucking awesome as always, and I'll see you soon.